and welcome back to the Central Valley Art Hop Show on this very warm summer afternoon. We're back with Kayla Moon, who is the creative mind, and she is the owner of the M.E.C.C.A magazine that's going to have its own release party tonight in honor of Art Hop. So welcome, Kayla.
Thank you so much.
So happy to talk to you again.
Yeah, I know. It's always so great coming out here and meeting new people and getting to connect with different artists and just see what's going on in the community.
Sure. Tell us about what you have going on with this new magazine.
Yeah, so it's really exciting. This magazine started out as just a way to, kind of encompass a message or different narratives that are usually ignored within the mainstream. And we get so much negative feedback, by the mainstream media, and it's so heavy. And so we wanted to create a different narrative. And we also wanted to highlight different artists' voices in the community. And when I say community, it's, we are a global community. And in this volume, specifically volume 5, we actually are featuring women from South Africa.
Cool.
And it's really amazing. And it's so interesting how, these issues that affect us here in the States also are affecting people, on the opposite end of the earth. And so really kind of combining those different messages and also, understanding that in one community, their issues, even though they may be similar, their solutions may look different than ours. And so being open to that as well. I believe it's called intersectionality, and just, understanding that, a woman's issue here in America is going to look similar to a woman's issue in South Africa, but they're going to have different voices, different stories, and, and different dynamics to it. So we're trying to open up people's minds to have their hearts be more open to that.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
How did you find the creative spirits somewhere so far away to be a part of it? Like, how did that even happen?
So, when producing a magazine, it's so much work. It's constant work, just to push out something once a month. And, we recently changed our title. So we used to go by Dreamers and Doers, and we created a new title that we feel really encompasses the social justice and the cultural stories that we would like to highlight, as well as the community activism. And so I spend time scouting for different people that I feel are very on point with, the guidelines that fall under our magazine, which is media, music, education, culture, community, and art. And so the title has been changed to M.E.C.C.A, and we're having so many different stories just come out that it's so important to highlight that we had to make an entire event around it.
But that's really cool, though. What is the event tonight going to be?
So the event tonight, it's at M.M.E.C.C.A, and it's going to be a release party for the magazine, but we're also highlighting some really important stories. So in the magazine, these conversations have been coming up. One of them specifically is matriarchy, and the idea of, I came up with this thing, and it's like, F feminism, I'm a matriarch, right? And it's kind of trying to shift the narrative between this third wave feminism, which really is grounded in a patriarchal stance. How can you have a movement fighting for equal rights when it's a gender biased term? Feminism is a gender biased term. And so, including men into the conversation as to what it's like to live in a female body, and how it looks different from a white woman, from a black woman, from a Latino woman, and how we all have these different stories and we all have these different struggles. And so out of that it came this conversation, so what can men do about it? And so there's a group created called Men Against Violent Men, and it's kind of opening up that conversation to the men to say, look, this isn't just a women's issue when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to rape, when it comes to, sexual assaults that women deal with on a daily basis. It also is the man's responsibility to take part in this conversation. So that is we're gonna kind of highlight that. The Foxy Five, that's the group from South Africa. They are incredible women. We're gonna feature their web series tonight. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, and then I can't forget this. Des Martinez, amazing woman. She, here in Fresno, California, we have a homeless epidemic. It is a huge population of uncounted numbers and uncounted people getting very limited and also very harming, resources that are provided. The Poverello House, more often than not, is actually further traumatizing the people that go into it rather than helping them get back on their feet. And so there's a woman that's actually been having these conversations with the homeless population, the experts on the issues. She's not going to City Hall to talk about these things. She's actually going into the street and having these conversations with the people that live it, right? Because that's important to get their perspective. If people want to, decide their fate, decide their lives, have a conversation with them. And so Des actually went out and started, it was a homeless experiment. And she went out on the streets for 24 hours and documented what it was like to be out there with no food, with no water, with no blankets, with no shelter. And her experience is absolutely grounding as to the realities that people experience on a daily basis here in Fresno. And so she is working on a documentary that's going to be really, really incredible. She's also working with an activist who's pretty well known, Mike Rhodes. They're kind of going back and forth because he's also made a documentary on it. And so she's going to share with us her experience and open up a conversation for the community to have at M.M.E.C.C.A. And so, it's not just an event to go and hang out and have fun, but we're hoping that it starts conversations, as to solutions for what we can do, because it's so often, and what I see happening right now and what's so awesome is that, Art Hop is shifting in a way that, we're taking this beauty and this creativity and allowing it to start conversations and to provide resources for people, and actually having these things go for a good cause. And so that's really cool, and we hope to just continue that and be a part of that heartbeat here in the community.
That's awesome. Can you tell us one more time before we close, well, not close out, but before we go to commercial, what time, where is it again, even though we've already said it, but just to be safe?
It's the M.M.E.C.C.A release party. We're going to be having 10 different artists, community activists, heavyweight hitters here in Fresno, California roll through, featuring people from South Africa. What is up at M.M.E.C.C.A from 7 to 10 tonight. So please join us for that. This venue's free, and we're actually opening it up for vendors to vend for free, because so often vendors do not make their money back. And so we're like, look, this space, all we have to do is pay the sound guy. We got to raise $40. That's all we got to do.
Yeah.
We're cool. So join us, donate to the cause, help us out, and just be a part of the conversation.
This sounds amazing, and M.M.E.C.C.A is such a nice place too.
Absolutely.
It definitely adds to the artistic ambiance that we're all looking for tonight. Absolutely. For Art Hop. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's always inspiring to have conversations with you, and I love it. I just love it. Stay right here on Central Valley Art Hop Show. We'll be right back with more creative inspiration for you.